This is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new Neca Ultimate Universal Monsters TMNT Donatello's the Invisible Man figure. So before we take a closer look at Donatello, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, for the regular head sculpt, you get his hat. It is removable and it stays on very nicely. I was surprised at how well this stays on. It's sculpted very nicely and has some good texturing on it. And you just press it down like this. And once you hear that, it'll stay on his head very nicely. Up next, he comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, he comes with a right pointing hand and a left open hand. I kind of wish he would have had a pair of open hands instead of this pointing hand, but still looks pretty cool. Up next, he comes with this special hand for holding the beaker, and the beaker itself with the stirring rod, and that looks very nice. I like that Neca includes hands just for holding specific accessories like this. That way you don't stretch out the regular accessory holding hands. Up next, Donatello comes with this TGRI book, and this looks very nice. I love the texturing to the book itself. That looks really good, with some nice gold detailing to it. And of course, the special hand for holding this. Up next, Donatello comes with his bow staff and bow staff holding hands, and the bow staff is sculpted very nicely. The wood grain on it is sculpted really well, and the wrappings have a really nice brown wash over top of them. They're kind of yellowed, so they look really aged. That looks really good. Just like with the previous Donatello figures, you get ribbon on the back to hold his bow staff, and as you can see, the top one already slipped out, so I'm going to have to retie that. The bottom one is holding for now, but it'll probably slip out too. That's a problem I've had with every Donatello figure that have these ribbons, is that they slip out very easily. So yeah, definitely going to have to retie this. Up next, he comes with a set of his wrapped feet, and the wrappings are sculpted very nicely. They have some nice yellow paint over top of them, and you can see his translucent toes peeking out there. These feet are actually cast in translucent plastic. The whole thing is translucent, and these wrappings are just painted over top of that, so I thought that was a nice touch. Up next, he comes with a set of translucent hands, and these look very nice. They have some really incredible sculpt detail. That texturing on the hands looks very nice, and you can see the bow staff through his fingers. That just looks really cool, the way you can see the staff through his fingers. That looks incredible. Neca did such an awesome job on these. Up next, he comes with a set of translucent feet, and just like with the hands, these look incredible. They have some excellent sculpted detail to them, and these were actually easier to switch out than I thought they'd be. You just pop them out like that, and that's pretty simple. I was really surprised that these go in and out so easily. And finally, he comes with this alternate head sculpt. You can see that the eyes and the mouth are open on the wrappings on this head sculpt, as well as some tufts of hair coming out. And this looks very good. That's actually kind of a creepy head sculpt, honestly. Neca did a really good job on this. It is hollow on the inside. The one weird thing is the head and neck are all one piece on this. On the regular head sculpt, the head and neck are two separate pieces. You get a ball joint down here and then up in the head. But yeah, this is just one piece. It seems really loose on mine, and you can see that the paint, there's some scuffage on it from switching the heads out. The regular head sculpt has that too. It is hidden because the head will be like this, but it is a little unfortunate that the heads are getting scuffed up like that. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look at the main head sculpt. So taking a closer look at this head sculpt, Neca did an awesome job on this. The sculpted detail on the wrappings looks very good. You get some of those yellow tones painted over top of the wrappings. And one thing that I didn't notice is the goggles are actually removable, and I think that's awesome because you can see those translucent eyes underneath there. So that was a very, very nice touch by Neca. That looks incredible. This is just such a sick head sculpt. The shirt underneath the jacket is textured very nicely and has a nice black wash over top of it, bringing the details out very well. Neca did an excellent job at sculpting this. The jacket is also textured very nicely. That looks really, really good. It also has some black paint over top of it, making it look kind of worn and dirty. That looks really good. The belt also has some crazy leather texturing to it, as well as a wash over top of it. You can see some stitch work there going up around the shoulder there. That looks very good. The shoulder pads also have some excellent paint detail. They're just cast in a dark brown color, but they have light brown paint painted over top of that, and that looks really good. I also think these are a softer material than the previous Donatello figures. I feel like the arms can move in just a little bit more than the previous Donatello figures. My favorite part about this figure is the translucent shell on the back. You can see the sculpted texturing there on the shell, and you can see the pizzas floating inside. That looks awesome. They are pepperoni pizzas floating there. So yeah, I love that detail. Neca did an awesome job on that. The pants have some very, very nice paint. I think they're cast in black and the blue's painted over top of them. Either way, it looks very nice. The knee pads are just like the shoulder pads. They have that very nice paint over top of them. You can see the stitch work there on the pants rolled up at the bottom. You can see on this side, the paint for the stitches didn't quite hit the mark. But that's really the only bad paint on this figure. On this side, it came out really well. And he's just painted very, very well overall. Neca really did an outstanding job on this figure. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head and neck that can only look up that far. The head does hit on the collar. It is kind of soft, so you can kind of move it back just a little more. He can only look down that far. He can move his head side to side like that. He has shoulders that can move all the way out. He has double-jointed elbows that can bend in that far. There is also a swivel down here in the forearm. You have a swivel wrist that can move side to side and up and down very nicely. A ball-jointed waist that can't quite move back that far. The shell does hit on it right there. He can move forward just a little bit. He can move side to side very nicely and all the way around. He has ball-jointed hips that can only move out that far because of the coat. He does have a swivel in the thigh up here, but it's really tough to get to. He can kick forward all the way, surprisingly. He can only kick back that far. He has swivel here at the knee, and I haven't been able to get these knees to move. You can hear the plastic moving right there. So yeah, I might have to dip this one down in some hot water to loosen that up just a little bit. He has swivel up here in the shin that can move side to side, an ankle that has some very, very nice up and down movement. That is some really good articulation right there. And he has an ankle rocker that can move side to side very nicely. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the Ultimate Invisible Man figure. Here he is next to Michelangelo as the Mummy. Here he is next to Leonardo as the Hunchback. Here he is next to Raphael as Frankenstein. Here he is next to April as the Bride of Frankenstein. Here he is next to Splinter as Van Helsing. And finally, there he is next to his normal movie self. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up. Neca did an amazing job on this. This is another phenomenal TMNT Universal Monsters figure. I'm constantly amazed by how good each of these are. I honestly think each figure in this line just keeps getting better. Neca just always knocks it out of the park with these figures, and this figure is no exception. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.